They are living in the United Kingdom legally. The Home Office is writing letters to them, giving them only 14 days to leave the country. As you can see here, this is something that is very, very serious. Another lady has been given 14 days. The husband has a valid visa who came on the care workers visa, but the wife visa has expired and the woman has been told to live with their children, even pregnant women. What is going on? You will be shocked as we unveil the story. If you know anyone who doesn't have British passport who lives in the United Kingdom, kindly ensure that they see this video. I've just been on the phone to an immigration lawyer, very experienced one. She's breaking everything down and she's advised what you can do to prevent this from happening to you. This is happening after record shows that there is a significant fall in UK immigration. The Home Office has admitted that they've lost track of workers who haven't have the right to live in the UK. They don't even know as many are in the country. Recent report shows that the care workers visa is tearing carers and their families apart. A survey done recently showed that 69% of overseas care workers are now considering leaving the UK if the government goes ahead to introduce indefinite leave to remain 5 years, 15 years for migrants. The Home Office is being warned by NHS bosses, warning the government to say, look, the changes that you are introducing is going to overwhelm the NHS. We will not be able to cope. Now, who are these people that the Home Office is asking them to leave? Let us break the story down. These are people that came to the UK before the changes that was introduced in March 2024. There are cases of where the man or woman has a valued visa. In the case of this man, he has a visa which is valid to 2031. His wife and children's visa has expired. He has been told that he will have to, the children and the wife will have to leave the country, whereas the man's visa is still valid. This is something that has teared this man apart. The wife has been told 14 days. You and your children have to leave the UK. Is it shocking? Yes, it is shocking because a lot of people cannot understand why this is happening where people who came before the changes that was introduced in March 2024, the dependent and the children are being asked to leave the country. Now this family, they have taken their case to their local MP. The local MP in this case is Victoria Collins, who described the family as a valued member of the community. Friends, families, and residents have rallied behind the family. They've asked the Home Office, what have this family done for you to ask them to leave the country, despite the fact that the husband still has a valid visa? This is not just one family. Lots of families are being sent letters asking their dependent to leave. The Home Office, in response to the inquiry by the MP, says, and I quote, "The UK settlement is a privilege that must be earned under the current immigration reform." Some people are saying, this doesn't make sense. You're saying it must be earned. These are dependents who live in the UK. They are working. Their children are settled here. What more do you want them to do to show that they're earning it? They are working and paying taxes. Why are you telling them to leave? Now, how did we get here? If you stick around to the end of the video, I will tell you what you can do to prevent this from happening to you based on the advice of the experienced immigration lawyer whom I've just been on the phone to. Number one, these families that came to the UK legally. The Home Office granted them visas and recognized them as family unit. Maybe the man came or the woman came, then the dependent came to join them with their children. The children went, settled in schools, established themselves, law-abiding family. They haven't broken the law. New rules that was introduced in March 2024 says care workers can no longer bring their dependent. That's fine. But the people that we are talking about today, these are people that came into the country before the rules changed. So the law should not apply to them. The law should only apply to those that came after March. But that is not what we are talking about today. The family, the man, his visa was due for renewal. He renewed his visa. He was granted a visa till 2031. The wife visa and the children expired. They applied for extension and they were told, no, you have to leave 14 days. What is going on here? Now, the family submitted the application as normal, waiting for reply, waited for everything, only for the Home Office to tell them, look, you're not going to stay in the country. Why? The answer still causes a lot of trouble. These are people that came to the UK at the time when the country was experiencing lots of shortages of workers. They came in to do jobs that a lot of British people would not do. As I said before, 36% of migrant care workers say they will stay in the country even if it will take them 15 years to get settlement. However, 69% said they will leave the country. They are considering leaving the country if the government changes the rule to 15 years to get indefinite leave to remain. Now, if they were to leave the country, what are the consequences of that? That means the loss of experienced care workers in the UK care sector, increase in staff shortage in health and social care. I will tell you what you need to do shortly. Reduce care services for people, high recruitment costs for company, and greater pressure on health and social care. Now, this family that have been asked to leave the country in 14 days, despite the fact that they are dependent, the main applicants still have a valid visa. What are the impact on them? They are facing emotional and anxiety stress, risk of family separation. As you are watching me now, imagine if you receive a letter, your husband or your wife, who is the main applicant, still have a valid visa. You and the children have been given 14 days to leave. Can you imagine the trauma, the shock that you will be going through? That is what these families are going through now. Even pregnant women are being affected. The children's education will be disrupted. Family would experience financial and legal costs. Also, loss of friends and community network, that will be the impact on the children. Pressure on the family, mental health can be affected. Loss of stability and security. Also, the family may not trust the system again. Now, this policy, those who are saying that, yes, they are saying the government is waking up, tightening the immigration law, making sure that the system is not abused. But these are people who came to the country legally. They are not the ones that jumped through this, that came in through the back door. These are people that came in. While these people are saying that the government is making the UK immigration system much, much harder. Now, what can you do to make sure that if you do not experience what these families are experiencing? Based on the advice that I received from an experienced immigration lawyer, assuming I came to the UK, I have a wife and children. My visa has been extended to 2031. I don't have any problem. But when my wife is applying for extension, despite the fact that she has abided by the rule, but there's one thing that a lot of immigrants are not doing, which is why they are having this problem. And that is what I am about to share with you. The immigration lawyer says that you should apply for your extension as normal, but you must put in a covering letter. That covering letter, you will then explain that I came into the country in 2024. When the time I came in, this was the rule, that any attempt to deny my dependent visa would have a detrimental impact on me, and that would be a breach on my family life under Article 8 of the EU Convention on the Human Rights. That you have to stress it that any attempt to refuse my dependent visa, it will have a detrimental impact on me, and it will be a breach of my right to family life under Article 8 of the EU Convention of Human Rights. That supporting letter would help. However, if you think that you are unable to write the letter or you need an expert advice, here is an immigration lawyer who has appeared on this platform. Those of you that have followed me, you know this lady. She is our Ghanaian auntie, very, very experienced immigration lawyer. You know my views on people exploiting immigrants is something that I have totally against. But she is someone that I trust. She's not paying me to refer anybody to her. I am doing this to help people from our community, referring them to somebody that is trusted. You do not have to use her service to renew your paper. You can do it yourself. I am only sharing this contact in case you feel you need an immigration lawyer advice. If you know anyone that lives in the UK who doesn't have British citizenship yet, who has dependent, kindly ensure that they see this video, because this video can cost them, it can save them a lot and lots. If you see any value in this content, you can support this channel and the work that we're trying to do for our community by liking, sharing, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. Peace and love. I'll see you soon.